Hi, good morning and welcome to Circuit Zolder. I'm Oz, the Sustainable Orange, and I'm here to explore the Zolder Electrified weekend, where we have the ERA Championship and the ETCR Championships running, as well as the Electrified Festival here at Circuit Zolder. The Circuit Zolder Electrified event was from Friday, July 8th to Sunday, July 10th. I had been invited to attend by the director of the ERA Championship, who had arranged a couple of weekend paddock passes for me. This was my first trip out to Circuit Zolder in Belgium, so I wasn't quite sure what to expect. Little did I know how involved I'd actually end up being. The drive down from the southeast of England to Circuit Zolder was expected to take about 6 hours. We got to Bruges for our first charging stop at about 2 PM. Grabbed a bite to eat in central Bruges, and then it was another hour and 45 minutes on the road before we got to Circuit Zolder. On Friday we drove about 511 all-electric kilometres. The circuit itself was built in the early 1960s and is about 4 kilometres or 2.5 miles long, featuring 11 turns. It's well known and revered for its brutal curbs and high-speed corners. It's hosted 10 F1 race weekends over its history, with the most recent being in 1984. This weekend I'm here to experience what I hope will be the future of racing here at Zolder and hopefully many other circuits. Pure electric racing. We have the FIA Electric Touring Car ETCR Championship, as well as the Electric Racing Academy ERA, with this being the first official round of the Software AG ERA Championship. I've been following the ERA since its inception back in 2020. The headliners might be the FIA ETCR cars this weekend, but I'm here for the ERA Championship and to get some behind the scenes info and experience what it's like to race and run these cars. I fell in love with the idea of pure electric single-seaters that are the same power and weight as their counterparts in combustion racing, but cheaper to run and more sustainable. I've been pestering the ERA on Twitter for a go since I first saw the chassis being tested. Now, I'm not sure if ERA are aware of this, but I really do want to have a go at one of these cars. One fantastic thing that I discovered this weekend is that the ERA electric single-seater chassis will be provided to the Zolder Racing School. The Racing School is there to help young drivers get the first taste of a single-seater, to make the jump from karts or sim racing to real racing, but also to allow plebs like myself, who are absolutely not talented enough to be a real racing driver, but are passionate about driving, and can have a go and even get their racing license if they so wish. The ERA is billed as a series that's trying to be accessible, sustainable and diverse, giving better opportunities to those underserved drivers who perhaps could not afford to go to FIA Formula Series due to the running costs, or who want to race in a more sustainable way. ERA plans to pave the way for affordable, accessible and sustainable racing, with equality and diversity being core to its principles. These are values that I'm also very passionate about. It's also great to see all the cars this weekend sporting the Racing Pride logos, and I was privileged to speak with Richard Morris and Sarah Moore from W Series about Racing Pride and how they're championing it in their motorsport career. Regarding the car itself, it is built on a tried and tested Formula 4 design, but with a bespoke rear subframe which includes the battery, motor and drivetrain. It weighs in at about 650 kilograms, produces about 130 kilowatts or 175 horsepower at peak power, which is good enough for a top speed of 210 kilometers an hour or 130 miles an hour. The weekend starts out with practice sessions for the drivers of about 20 minutes each on Friday and Saturday, followed by qualifying on Sunday morning at about 11 AM and the race taking place at 4 PM Sunday afternoon. Qualifying on Sunday was over a 40-minute window, whilst the race itself was planned to be 15 minutes plus 1 lap. However, due to a car issue, this got cut down to 12 minutes plus 1 lap to allow the stricken car to be cleared with a second warm-up lap behind the safety car. Qualifying went well, with the drivers pushing the cars as hard as they dared without running out of power, as they were not allowed to recharge between laps or sessions, so it became a bit of a game of chess, waiting for the circuit to rub it in, and then trying to find a gap where your car was in the right temperature window, ready to go and do a flying lap, whilst hoping no one got in the way or caused the session to be yellow or red flagged. By the end of qualifying, Ellis Sapizia had put it on pole by over a second to his next nearest rival. This had me really excited for the race, however things are about to become more interesting for me. Apparently there had been some issues with the live stream during qualifying, resulting in a loss of commentary, and the media team lead would have to leave the track before the main race would be underway. Given my background in techie things, Beth had asked me if I could help the team out with their social media live stream, which of course I jumped at the chance. Working with the social media team, we came up with a plan, and they introduced me to the TV crew who were producing the event for Eurosport and the FIA. This meant that for the race, I would actually end up being sat inside the media truck with the TV directors live streaming on a borrowed laptop to social media on ERA's official webpage. I got to see how the TV stream was produced in real time and never expected that I would end up playing a small part in the first ever ERA Championship race. What an amazing experience, and I even got a team shirt. Although, can I exchange the champagne for a go in the car please, ERA team? Please? I want to say a big thank you to Beth and Dieter at ERA for being so kind and generous with their time over the weekend. Thanks to all the awesome people that I met and who took the time out of their busy days to spend talking to a blithering idiot like me. You're all amazing. I'll include links to their social media accounts in the description below if anyone wishes to follow them. I also want to draw your attention again to Racing Pride, Richard Morris and Sarah Moore. Please go and check out racingpride.com. They're doing great things for equality and diversity in motorsport. I would also love it if you go and check out or follow both Elysium Racing at Elysium Racing on Twitter and Instagram, and Cameron Hawes at Cameron Hawes 88 on Instagram. They're both up and coming young drivers who've got amazing stories. Cameron comes from sim racing and winning his first time out in a single seater. And Ellis, who is a superstar in the making, and I'm sure will be stood on the top step of the ERA Championship this year. Ellis has built his career on sustainable electric racing series, which is just fantastic to see. Finally, go and follow the ERA Championship on all social media platforms. They'll be live streaming all of their races this year. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends. I will see you in the next one.